cash on my cash stack. High yields on stable coins, yeah, that's where my bag at. All I really need is Wi-Fi, get money on DeFi, mega cash on MetaMask. You better run when the runners run, show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum, markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton, crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run.
Good evening, runners. It's Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Tonight, we are celebrating another all-time high for gold, the number one asset in the world. As always, we got to make sure we get the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ricardo Hamilton, a.k.a. Mims, making it make sense.
Look, we've been telling people for a long time, man, get precious metals. Fired up and excited for tonight's show, man. We got a lot of great information for you guys. What an epic time to be alive. One of the most significant time periods in history. And you alive and witnessing it in real time, man. So we pumped up and excited. We got a great show for y'all tonight. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Man, I just love it when you go through the wilderness, right? And you just keep saying the same message over and over again. Gold, silver, crypto. Gold, silver, crypto. And when it finally comes to fruition, it's like you knew it was going to happen, but it just feels good to be vindicated once again, staying on message, staying on point. And that's why I just love what we do, brother.
Yeah, man. People hungry for this information, and we're in the information era right now. So it's very important that people really tap in and share this information and really try to understand what we're sharing, because, you know, a lot of people just don't know how to think. A lot of people don't think. A lot of people don't really understand what's going on, financial literacy and how to build wealth and acquire assets and what they should be doing with their money. And, the times that we're in right now is so important that you know how to properly hedge and diversify into precious metals like silver and gold, God's money. That's right, God's money, and the people's money, blockchain, cryptocurrency. And that's what we've been helping people do for years, and slowly but surely we are building wealth and changing, lives one family at a time. So it's a beautiful thing.
Clap it up right there. I had to go and get my bars out of the safe. I got sick of Mims being the only one clapping it up, giving the two clanks out there.
No, I'm starting something, man, because everybody loved the clank. You know what I mean? And this is real, folks. Some people, they'll get on and they'll start talking about stuff, but they just talking. They ain't doing it. They ain't walking it. You know what I'm saying? We are actually doing it for years, getting precious metals, physical silver and gold, looking for the best companies to offer the best value, getting into crypto and projects early on in the metaverse and, in DeFi and all the different areas in the blockchain, help people, realize that they can put their money to work for them so they don't have to work so hard for their money, and protect the value of their money without exposing it to risk by having it in precious metals. So, yeah, man, it doesn't stop, when you're running with the runners.
And I think our brother Daryl Matthews there brings up a good point. It's gold, silver, and crypto is the new retirement plan. Now, on April 1st, April Fool's Day, I put on my timeline, I'm selling all my silver and crypto. I'm going all into the dollars and 401k. And of course, people in our community, most of them got it. They knew it was an April Fool's joke. They were laughing. They'd be like, oh, that would be silly for Mike to do that. But Ricardo, a majority of people, maybe as much as 70 or 80%, that's how they're living, right? That's how they were told. That's how they were brainwashed by the system to save your dollars in a bank and then take your savings and send it to Wall Street in a 401k or something like that and hope that you get some of it back in 40 or 50 years. That is the most dangerous, crazy thing I've ever heard. Yeah.
I mean, if you're scared, you should be more afraid of staying in dollars and leaving your money in the old traditional financial system. It's so important that people wake up to the reality that the world has changed. The monetary system is changing. The order of things are changing right before your eyes. And it's so important that you understand that the dollar is not money, that the dollar is an IOU. It's a unit of debt. It loses value. It's not an asset. It's not for savings. It's so important that you understand that your 401k and your retirement and things are tied to a declining, evaporating system. This system is going away, this debt-based system. So yeah, Mike, there's a lot of people who don't know, that the dollar is dead, that the stock market is rigged. And, you can't rely on that system to protect you financially and secure your financial future. You have to get outside of that comfort zone and start to self-direct your retirement assets into blockchain and precious metals.
Yeah, it's all about becoming a sovereign individual and taking possession and ownership of your wealth. I was studying for my health and life insurance exam today, and
nice.
Some of the things I knew, but some of them blew me away. So, Mims, you might have saw me post this, but the lump sum death benefit of Social Security, meaning you paid into this your whole life, and then when you die, what do they give your loved ones? A lump sum of $255. And it has been that amount for the last 60 years. Not only that, I knew this, but I like had forgotten. They take your money in Social Security all throughout your life. And then when they give it back to you when you're older, they tax that income. So they steal the money from you, taxes. And when they give some of it back to you, they tax you again. Like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Henry Ford who said it's best that the American people don't understand the present banking and monetary system, or there'll be a revolution by tomorrow morning. They kept us in the dark. Most people, I think 60 or 70% of the populace are financially illiterate. They don't understand money and how the monetary system works, and, taxes and inflation, and now people are starting to talk about inflation because obviously after 2008 financial crisis and all these wars and people's, lifestyles, they're noticing it. It's more present than ever that the dollar just isn't buying you what it used to, that it's harder and harder to maintain your status of living. And then even if you are getting, like you talked about, Mike, if they're getting the $225 or $1,500 in Social Security, whatever it is, because of inflation, it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. And it's getting worse. We're printing more money. The dollar is losing more value. We're in a worse financial crisis than ever. But those of us who are saving in assets like silver and gold, they're up. Those of us who are getting into blockchain and crypto, we're making money. We're putting our money to work for us. And that's accessible to everybody, accessible to everybody, but they just don't know. And that's why we're here to help, lead the way and show people how to get it done.
Oh, and shout out to Rachel. She's been running with us for a while. Yeah. So always glad to educate people. Marvin, just reach out to one of us. We can kind of show you a better way or connect you with financial advisors who think outside the system. There's lots of things you can do with your 401k. Just off the top of my head, you can do a rollover to a self-directed IRA with gold, silver, and crypto to where you can actually get those assets and not have to pay taxes on them or have the tax advantages. So there's lots of things we can help you with. That's kind of what we do inside the Runners app. But Mims, I got to get this up on the screen. Okay, we just got to look at this for a minute because this is what we've been waiting for right here. Gold is over $2,300 an ounce, and its market cap is $15.4 trillion with a T.
Money clap.
How long? Yeah, crank it up. Do you know how many lives we have done and looked at this same chart, and it was like at 13 trillion? I feel like forever. Every time we look at it, well, guys, gold's the number one asset again. It's at 13 trillion. It's around 18, 19, maybe $2,000. We have finally, blasted past that. The sky's the limit now. Price discovery, there's no guarantee what's going to happen, but this is a serious, monumental celebration evening for those of us who have stayed disciplined and kept getting these precious metals. Mims, your take on this historic moment for those of us smart enough to save in real money?
Yeah, I mean, inflation is on the rise, folks. This is an indicator. I want you to understand something, that a lot of these institutions, a lot of the governments, a lot of the central banks, a lot of the wealthy, investors, they know the data 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and even beyond what's coming. And so they do certain things with their money before that happens, right? So they can accumulate an asset while it's undervalued for that time that is coming, so they can gain more wealth. And so when you see metals like gold going to all-time high territories like it is now, finding new price discovery for the price, which I'm going to tell you right now, physical gold is massively undervalued, even at $2,300. I'm telling you right now, physical silver is massively undervalued at $26. And you're going to see the correction of these assets to fair value as inflation continues to rise, as war continues to kick off. People don't understand how close we are to a real global conflict. Okay, the BRICS nations versus G7, you might as well say. And it's an inevitability at this point as you start to realize BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, their GDP has outperformed the G7 nations. And you can start to see the conflicts in the Middle East and obviously in Europe. Those are going to continue to be a factor as the world de-dollarizes and dumps dollars and dollar continues to inflate away. So it's important that you understand that yes, it's exciting to get physical gold and silver, but it's also an indicator of what's going on in the global economy. And you need to make sure that you're prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, in all ways. But it's exciting because we're helping people during this transition. While a lot of people are going to get wiped out, a lot of people are going to be struggling financially, don't have any options and don't know what to do. We're helping lead people in the proper direction to secure their value of their money and to have it grow for them.
Here, 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 here. All right, so guys, if you want to know where to get the best prices on gold and silver, you need to reach out to Ricardo or I. In the past, you might have seen us get our gold and silver somewhere else. We have a brand new place that we're getting it, and we want to make sure you're getting it at the lowest prices. So reach out to make sure you are getting the best prices on gold and silver, and you're not overpaying with some other company. So let me read a couple. Go ahead, man.
I want to add to that real quick. Go ahead, Mike. Read that. But yeah, either get back to me or Mike or whoever shared this video with you, because there's a lot of people who will share our videos and they're more than likely in position to help you get precious metals at the best price. So just make sure that you're getting it at the best price, literally no premiums, no markups, because we don't want people to overpay. And if you can get metals at a better price than going somewhere else, we're definitely going to let you know about it. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, we couldn't sleep at night if you guys were paying for, overpaying for gold and silver. So we want to make sure you guys always get the best price and, not get gouged. And, I'll leave it at that. All right. So this is from Forbes.com on April 1st. This is not an April Fool's joke, guys. Gold hits another high despite a strong stock market and economy. Here's why. The U.S. looks all but certain to dodge a recession. I don't know about that. American stock indexes are trading at record levels and even riskier investments. This guy's funny. Bitcoin are at their highest prices ever, but gold, arguably the world's oldest investment, often viewed as a hedge against market losses elsewhere, keeps gaining value. Here is a picture of Mim's private property in Belize in the vault. Yeah, it's an undisclosed Mim's location.
Yeah, facts. And let me say this. They say gold is an investment, but I want you guys to understand something, that gold has been reevaluated. Gold and silver essentially reevaluated as tier 1 assets by the Bank of International Settlements, which for those who don't know, most people never heard of it, but the Bank of International Settlements is essentially the central bank for central banks. Okay, they set the rules and the standards. And so gold and silver are now tier 1 assets. And what that means is that they are accepted 100% for value and have zero risk associated to it. Right now, if you're holding cash and you have your retirement accounts in the present debt-based financial system and it's in cash, that's risk, that's exposure, that's liability, right? If you want to eliminate that risk and that exposure, right? You want to save your money in precious metals, physical silver and gold. This is the time, folks. I'm telling you right now, central banks are buying more gold than they ever have in any time period in history since World War II. I do hope you understand that the world is at war, that the financial system is collapsing, and something is going to come out of the ashes of that. And whatever it is, gold and silver are going to be the underpinnings of it. Okay. And you want to make sure that you're getting this metal and get as much as you can as soon as possible, because you're either going to get priced out or you won't be able to buy it anymore, because especially silver being such a strategic metal, all right, and not a lot of it around, okay, for the growing use case of it, you want to get it and lock it down now. Go ahead, brother.
No, that's it. That's a Don DeMarco for sure. Gold prices have quintupled over the last 2 decades. And again, think about it, guys. The dollar's lost 20% of its value since 2020.
Yeah.
Meaning what you would have bought for $1 in 2020, you would need $1.20 to buy the same stuff today. Gold traded at an all-time high of about 2,223 per ounce Monday, extending its year-to-date gain to 8 and 12-month gain to a blistering 13%, moving in the same direction as the American benchmark stock index S&P 500's 11% year-to-date and 30% 12-month return. The gold rush may come as a surprise for American investors, except for the runners. Concerning the safe haven precious metals record run-up does not coincide with prior events which sparked all-time highs for gold, such as the late 2000s financial crisis and the C-word 19 pandemic. Key factors behind gold's rally as things are looking far less bright for many non-U.S. markets. The U.S.'s 2.1 projected economic growth this year outpaced the sub 1% projected growth of other developed economies, which Mims is all over. He just talked about Germany, Japan, and the United Kingdom, while stocks listed on large foreign exchanges have largely underperformed. Let's see what to watch for. Incoming cuts to interest rates, right? That's going to be a big deal. 3.3 trillion, that's the amount of gold held by investors, according to JP Morgan Chase. That accounts for about 1.4% of the value of all global investments. So let's stop there, Mims. This is about all we need to talk about, guys. About 1.5% of all global investments are held by investors in gold. It's almost nothing. Okay. There's so few, ordinary people who own this precious metal. So Mims, maybe make it make sense is who owns a majority of the gold and silver, and why might people start to really, really start to stack metals as if their life depends on it?
Well, quite frankly, for people who know what's coming, their life might depend on it. We say all the time, you think you're saving silver, and it's actually silver that might be saving you. Central banks, I mentioned it earlier, governments, central banks, all around the world, they're buying and holding more gold than they ever have at any time period in history. That's a clue. They've changed the laws and labeled gold a tier 1 asset. Gold and silver have been money since the times of Egypt. It's money all around the world, whether you're in Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas. It's constitutional money. Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution. There's about 12 states in the United States where gold and silver is legal tender, where you can spend it like you spend cash. I mean, it's mentioned hundreds of times in the Bible. I mean, it's biblical money. We talk about God's money. And I believe we, are in biblical times. We are in the most significant time period in history. And it's certain things that you should be doing in these times. These are not normal times. And so you shouldn't have this like normalcy or complacency bias with your finances or just with reality in general. You shouldn't be suffering from cognitive dissonance. You need to really wake up to what's going on and start to diversify and hedge and do different things with your money. You can't just do what everybody else is doing. And right now, you're even still early. I'm telling you, an ounce of gold minimum should be $10,000 an ounce. Okay, easy. That's old data. I mean, that was like 2000s, early 2000s gold should have been at that, that price. In silver, easily over, I mean, $500 an ounce. And I'm being modest. I'm just
Easy,
telling
yeah.
you. Yeah, easy.
Very conservative.
Yeah, very conservative, because you have to understand that we are in a fiat currency collapse. I know that, the stock market is up, and I want you to understand something. All that is rigged and manipulated, and it will crash. It will correct to fair value. A lot of this stuff is overvalued because they've been printing cheap, easy money. The Federal Reserve has these discount rates, discount windows. They just print money, and these banks and these institutions, they're buying back their stocks, with free money, and that's why you're going to see more banks collapse, because these banks, were getting this money at 0% interest rates, getting these bonds and everything else, interest rates rising and everything else. And the banks don't have your money. I hope you know that. They're insolvent. They're insolvent. Everybody try to go get their cash out of the bank. It's not there. And it doesn't even take everybody. You try to pull 10 grand out their account tomorrow, they're going to tell you, we don't have it. We got to order it.
Come back in a month.
Look, I slowly siphon. I put a couple grand comes in from this and that. I'm slowly siphoning cash out the bank and putting it into metals, putting it in crypto, or putting it in the emergency fund next to the guns and ammo. You see what I'm saying? But this is how you have to think. You really have to get strategic, because there's a lot of things that's taking place right now. Even here in the US, and we could talk about the bridges, we could talk about the border. You know what I'm saying? We just so much, in ways that we're being attacked, and you just don't know, what tomorrow brings. Like I said, every day, Mike, I wake up and I'm like, what's next? I just know something's next around the corner, and they've been hyping up the eclipse and so much other things. But on the money side, it's just important that you constantly, continuously, and consistently save in physical silver and gold.
And it again just blows my mind, Mims, is like, here we are, we're looking at the top 9 assets in the world, and we've been screaming from the rooftops to get 3 of them: gold, silver, and crypto. And even when you look at the other ones, right, they're technology, okay? They're relatively new. They're dealing with AI and, different computers, Microsoft and Apple, okay? Computers, NVIDIA. If you want to buy NVIDIA, and I'm not a big stock guy, but I'd be buying NVIDIA. Okay. That's graphics cards.
All these tech companies need metal, Mike. They need the rare earth minerals.
Without silver, they ain't running anything.
They don't exist without silver, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then you got oil. Obviously, we're going to use oil, Alphabet, Amazon, and then we got silver and Bitcoin. I mean, this is it, guys. And I'm going to be telling you guys, I made a big move. I still like Bitcoin, but I'm stocking up on Ethereum. Okay. Most people don't even know what Ethereum is. It's number 28 right now at a 395 billion market cap. It is the world's supercomputer. And we're going to show you something today that BlackRock is in. Okay. It's all over, guys. It's all over. The sign's on the wall. The question is, are you going to look at it? I mean, Ethereum is over Vanguard. Like the biggest ETF creator. It's bigger than them. It's bigger than Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Home Depot, Toyota, Costco, Bank of America, Nestle. Ethereum is.
Yeah.
And we're still early. We're so early.
Yeah. There's only about 20% of people in the US that's in crypto. I think it's 4% of people in crypto around the world. Trillions upon trillions of dollars are flowing into these assets. That's what we talk about all the time. So make sure you don't spend too much time entertained and being distracted, with the Diddy stuff and all that, which it does deserve some attention, because we need to know who these corrupt people are and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And exposing these institutions and these CEOs, right, and things of that nature. But keep your focus on what really matters, which is your economy, and make sure that you're doing the right things for yourself and your family. Don't get too distracted out here.
And we've been telling you guys that all these elites will be exposed. Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny, Mims, is like, some of my friends will be like, I can't believe this stuff with Diddy or, you know, with Epstein or all these other people. And I'm just like, I knew this like a decade ago. I'm like, how did you not know this? Like the signs were all there, but you chose to worship these people and listen to like mainstream news. But we all knew this was happening. We all know what the wealthy and the elites do, the gross, disgusting things that, you know, you have to do to get into these elite things that we can't even talk about, of course, because, you know, we get banned then and all that type of stuff. But let's switch, guys.
Yeah. You don't get to that level without being compromised. Go ahead, Mike.
Right. So gold and silver, guys. Okay. We have the best company, the best compensation plan, and the lowest prices. All right. So get back to one of us or the person that shared this with you. But let's talk about crypto. Okay. Because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm focused on. This is a once in a millennia lifetime generational wealth shift when it comes to cryptocurrency. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't give me this crap of, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't care. Okay. You need to be focused this next year because those who are will change their entire generational shift forever. Now, Bitcoin's on sale, guys. Bitcoin had a 5% sale today. Ethereum had a 5% sale. So you have got to get it into your head. When you see red, you're buying. You're excited. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this asset that is changing the entire world like nothing ever has is on sale. I should go and buy some. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Well, first of all, for those of you who still don't get Bitcoin, I summed it up for you guys in one picture. Okay. Do you want the left with the dollar or do you want the right with Bitcoin? Okay.
Now I'm going to get out a money clap. Let's clap for the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin.
Clap it up for Bitcoin. Yeah. So if you don't get Bitcoin, I was a teacher. Okay. That's my, if you can get a picture, you can understand Bitcoin. Now we have the halving coming up. The halving is where how many Bitcoins that are produced each day get cut in half. That means there's less supply and there's more demand and the price goes up. Okay. So here's what has happened since about 2012. Okay. The first halving, Bitcoin went from $12 to $1,200. That's a 100x. Okay. Or it went up 100%, 1,000%. Okay. Then in 2016, Bitcoin went from 650 to 20,000. That's a 33x. This is when I got into crypto. Now, I didn't know about this stuff back then, but that's why I'm teaching you guys now. Then in 2020, Bitcoin went from 8,500 to about 70 grand. That was an 8x. So you can see each time we have these bull market halving cycles, Bitcoin won't go up as much because the value of it is so much higher. So most people are predicting Bitcoin will do about a 3 to 4x. Okay. Yeah. So we're 20 days away from this halving in 2024. So, you know, conservatively, Bitcoin goes to 150 grand, upside 200, 300 grand because of, I would not have said 300 grand until the ETFs were here. Okay. The ETFs means just normal everyday people can go to their broker or a TD Ameritrade or Prudential or wherever they do their traditional finance and buy a Bitcoin ETF. When those people get wind of this, the sky's the limit. Yeah. So you guys have to understand this cycle to be confident enough to be happy when the price goes down. Mims, anything you want to add with the cycle, the halving, just the mindset people need to have right now?
Yeah, there's a saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And that's what Wall Street is doing. They can't beat the blockchain. They can't beat or ban Bitcoin, right? So they're joining it. And that's mass adoption. That's massive liquidity. And what you want to understand is that the ETFs are buying 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 Bitcoins a day. Okay, a day. but there's only 900 Bitcoins a day being made. And after the halving, there's only going to be 450 Bitcoins made a day. But the demand for Bitcoin will rise because of supply and demand factors. And of course, we talk about the ETFs and them bringing in more money, while you have the backdrop of a declining currency, a overvalued stock market, de-dollarization, monetary shift around the world, where you have BRICS utilizing blockchain and crypto, utilizing gold and silver as a new monetary system. There's a new monetary system taking place, and the dollar is not going to have the role that it once had in the world. It's losing that right now. We're witnessing it in real time. And so there's massive amount of money coming to the blockchain and precious metal space, and there's only so much of it. There's only so much silver and gold. There's only so much Bitcoin, and a lot of money is coming to it. So these assets are going higher, and that's why we're telling people to get it now. And then when it comes to physical silver and gold, there's a saying: if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Okay. And then when it comes to crypto, there's a saying: not your keys, not your crypto. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure you have your cryptocurrency in your own non-custodial, decentralized wallet, on your private keys or seed phrases, mnemonic phrases. Don't leave your crypto on exchanges, all that good stuff that we've been telling people and helping people for years now. Make sure you still keeping that good practice.
Like Mem said, if you can't beat them, join them. Okay. Traditional finance is coming onto the blockchain. And when they do, trillions and trillions of dollars will flow into the blockchain. Guys, this is on-chain data. This is BlackRock. If you don't know BlackRock, they are the most powerful, richest, wealthiest hedge fund asset manager in the entire world. They basically run the world and the US government. Okay. Larry Fink is their CEO. This is BlackRock USD. It's pronounced BITL. This is on the blockchain. Now, you can't go and buy this. Okay. This is just them. They're tokenizing USD treasuries onto the blockchain as a stable coin. It is a security, and they've registered it as such. So BlackRock is basically doing the legal, compliant, full send. We're just going to do this and take over the entire world. That's their whole plan. Okay. They want to leverage and get into the blockchain because they know what is going to happen. So you guys have to understand this. BlackRock's BITL swells to 275 million, and it's only the beginning of tokenization. You're going to hear this: tokenization, or RWA, real world assets. So let me blow this up a little bit and just give you guys, that's Larry Fink. All right. BlackRock's Larry Fink says the future of finance is the full digestion of assets like stocks and bonds. His firm is putting its money where its CEO's mouth is. Adam McCarthy has some analysis here on BITL, BlackRock's foray into tokenized funds on, what is that word, Ricardo? How do you say that?
Ethereum.
Ethereum. That's called a clue, guys. It's called a clue. The fund has drawn about 275 million since its launch last week. This is not the first time an investment firm has tokenized a fund. Franklin Templeton is way ahead, but BlackRock is a 10 trillion, that's with the T, behemoth, and its fund will likely be the biggest, Adam writes. Still, though, tokenization is a long way from the holy grail of fully native digital assets, originated, traded, and custodied on-chain for soup to nuts automation. I don't know what that means. Have I just missed that my whole life?
Yeah, I missed that one too. I had to look at that.
I guess it's a good thing. Soup to nuts, guys. I don't know. Tokenization projects must still replicate traditional market structures while regulators and compliance teams get comfortable with the concept. Take Biddle, which, while it leverages crypto native custody from Coinbase and Fireblocks, also partners with ultra traditional BNY Mellon. So that's the point here, guys. It's traditional finance, or TradFi as it's called. They want a piece. Okay. I'm not saying they're going to control crypto. They can't control Bitcoin, but they want to regulate it, give it clarity, because as we know, the SEC is just out here suing everyone left and right. So BlackRock, like I said, they control everything. They're going to come in and say, here's how we're going to do things. This will make it compliant. And grandpa and grandma don't need to know seed words or use wallets, and they can still buy crypto and make money. Okay. Mims, before I go on, what's your take on this?
Yeah, we're going to have regulations here soon for stable coins. Okay.
Yeah.
Regulations is coming. This thing is not just getting legitimized, by the big banks in Wall Street to a degree. You're going to have regulation. And that when that happens, it's game over. That's, them pushing the button. It's go time. The massive wealth transfer is in full effect. And you want to make sure you're in position. That's really what it's coming down to. Before, we didn't even get access to this information. They didn't want us to know. A lot of times when there was opportunities to make money in investments, you had to be an accredited investor. You had to have all this money and these assets, or you had to know somebody. You had to get a tip. There had to be some kind of insider information. Well, this stuff is out here for us early on. There are people out here letting people know what's going on in this space. Where the money is being moved. That's why we talk about the market cap of assets. That's why we're talking about these major corporations and what they're doing with their money, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and others. This is why we talk about what central banks are doing around the world and what the governments are doing around the world, because that's a clue that can give you an idea of where value is moving to and where you need to position yourself to get ahead of the curve financially and change your life forever. This is why I say, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, this is the opportunity to make sure that a wealthy family comes from you. And it just comes down to your execution of information. It's one thing to know this information, but it's a whole other thing to actually apply it and then seeing your life change and your family's life change forever.
So the last thing I'll read from this article is, that's not to say Wall Street's excitement in tokenization is any less sharp. UK Finance has estimated that digital assets could represent 10% of the global securities market by 2030, about 5 trillion. And we're only sitting at 3 trillion right now in the whole crypto space. And they're just talking about the tokenized assets.
Yeah.
So here's the key takeaway, guys, is this is your last chance. This is the last market cycle. The average ordinary people can get rich and wealthy from crypto, because once this cycle ends, people like BlackRock and Franklin Templeton and Prudential and all the big hedge funds and banks will come in and control it and regulate it. And it'll be much more stable and safe. Okay. They'll probably ban meme coins or something, but this is it. Okay. And like I said here, the sale's coming. Okay. The pre-halving sale is coming. That's it. What's going to happen here, guys? Okay. Bitcoin's going to kind of go sideways. At least that's what it's done in the past. This is altcoin season. So don't just look at Bitcoin and be like, oh, Bitcoin's still at 80 grand. Like, oh, I'm not making any money. No, there's tokens going up and down every day. That's what we do in the Runners VIP Telegram, is we give calls out. They go up 100% in a day, 400% in a week. Okay. This is it. Okay. Once we get to this here and we go to the moon, it's game over. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another good point. Bitcoin, like we talked about in this halving, it might do a 3x, maybe a 4x. But the real opportunity is in altcoins. The real opportunity is in getting into different ecosystems on different blockchains and getting into different projects. And that's what we do. Mike puts out phenomenal calls in our Telegram group, the Runners Telegram, private Telegram group. And we're making money in so many different areas. because there are people out here who giving you the game, who giving you the code, who giving you the keys to early projects with low market caps, with great value and utility. And all you have to do is just move a few dollars into it. I mean, Mike, what was the most recent play you did? We took $200 and it turned into what, like $6 grand? That was on OPSEC, wasn't it?
Funny you mentioned that, Mims. I just pulled it up. So yeah, guys, I mean, when you nail it early, you know, you're excited to see everyone win. So I put this in the runners Telegram group at 16 cents, I believe, in February, right around here, February 5th. Okay. 16 cents, guys. We have hit over $3. Okay. I'm not going to try to figure out the percentages. You guys can, but just a few $100s has turned into 5 figures. Okay. And again, we're still early. OPSEC is still a good buy. Now, are there better ones that are less than what are we at now for our market cap? 242. You know, I put this in there. I think it was at a $20 million market cap. We're at a $242 million market cap. But guys, this is it. I mean, you know, you put in 100, you know, right now it's probably worth 700-800, maybe $1 grand.
Yeah, 10x. Yeah. Yeah, folks. So I mean, there's all type of opportunities, and that's the thing. You know, a lot of people will talk about, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and yeah, you might get a 3-4x out of those. But you need to be following the right people to know about those other projects that people haven't heard of, that they don't know about before it you know, hits the mainstream and everybody starts talking about them. You want to get into those projects where the market cap is low before everybody starts coming in, where you can see, you know, 10, 20, 50, 100, 300x, or, you know, whatever it is, it happens in crypto. You know, and so like Mike said, you know, that was a play. I think he said he put in 200 and it's over 5 figures. You know, either way we winning, you know, and of course you want to take profits, you know, and diversify into other projects. You want to take profits and make sure you get some physical silver and gold. You know, and continue to hedge and just rinse and repeat. But there's so much opportunity, man, that's going on in the crypto space, you know, with gaming and AI and, you know, I mean, just so much, you know, DeFi and everything else. You know, this is one of the most significant time periods in history, and you happen to be alive in it. Take advantage.
That's it, brother. I'm going to clank it up. Fire show, guys. We're going to keep winning. We're going to keep buying more gold and silver. We're going to keep growing more crypto, helping more people. As I always say, guys, it's up to you. You have got to take action. So look down below beneath this video, wherever you're watching it, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You're going to see a link to the Runners app. That's absolutely free. Okay. You're going to get information on how to join the Runners Facebook group. Then you can reach out to us for the VIP group. We can get you connected with the best prices for gold and silver. It's all up to you. We're here educating and trying to help as many people as possible, but you have to take the action. You have to decide, I'm sick of doing just enough to get by. I want to change my generational legacy for my children and my children's children. And when you start to focus on that, your whole mindset shifts and you stop worrying about just how to survive and instead how you're going to thrive. And this is the best time to do it, guys. It's 2024. Let's go.
Yeah. Look, folks, cash flow is king. Okay. And that's why we get excited about, you know, these gold and silver opportunities and companies that we find to create cash flow. And, you know, if you only have assets and you don't have cash flow, it's just a matter of time before you liquidating them because you're trying to maintain your lifestyle. So make sure that, of course, as well, I want to make sure I put that out here, that you are creating and looking for ways to create additional streams of income. You know, I tell people all the time, if you're relying on one stream of income, you're a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm fired up and excited because, like I said, we have found the best companies to get precious metals. We're making sure that people are not overpaying for it, and we're getting cash flow in the process, and we want the same for you. So definitely reach out to us in regards to that, or whoever shared this video with you. And, you know, we're going to make sure you're getting taken care of.
All right. Lace up, guys. Let's get wealthy.